What's up, everyone? It's been a while since I made a video, but figured it's time to unveil, guess what would be one of my newer fish here. I have it in a 40 breeder right now. For the first about 3 weeks to a month I had it in a breeder net because I didn't have any tank space, which I ended up having to buy a 20 gallon that I was going to scape and make it look nice just for this fish to grow out in for a little bit. But everything's kind of been chaotic. I've been running out of space, had to buy more tanks, haven't had much time to make videos, but oh well. But he has been released from the breeder net in this 40 gallon. The reason he was in the breeder net was because the tank I had purchased for it was cycling. I didn't have everything to get it how I wanted it right away, so I just left the fish in the breeder net in this tank. And I did have a flower horn in here. It's cheap red dragon. It's like 10 bucks. But I wanted it in the breeder net just so he wouldn't attack it. Because I do have a fire eel in this piece of wood. That's where he likes to hang out. Which I did just see his tail a couple seconds ago. But that flower horn is now in another tank with 2 other ones that I just recently got from an auction. But here he is. Her, I don't know. I did get a Fahaka pufferfish. This thing is pretty cool. While it was in the breeder net, it wasn't very active and didn't really do much. But now that he has a whole 40 gallon to himself, other than the fire eel that hides most of the time, he's very active. Within a couple minutes after releasing him, he just playing around, putting my finger up to the tank. He was trying to bite my finger. It was pretty funny. This is one of the few fish I did actually name, because I don't really name my fish. But I did name this little one Puff Daddy. Here we are in the basement. Here's the 20 gallon. It's a 20 high. This was supposed to be for the puffer fish, but after I did get it, I realized I had to get a tank, which I went right after purchasing and got one. So then I immediately turned to find some snails for sale to start breeding them to provide food for it once it gets a little bigger. Right now I just have them eating bloodworms and brine shrimp. This tank is not done. Those are the plants and one of the pieces of wood I plan on having in here. And eventually, hopefully I can get all my snails into this 20 gallon, because this tiger shovel nose is getting rather large now. It's probably about 6 to 7 inches, and he is growing very fast, like I said. Little peacock bass isn't really growing too fast. I did get this peacock bass with hole in the head, and that's starting to clear up now, which is awesome. This is one of the few fish that actually eats out of my hand, if not the only one. But some of these snails are pretty big. I was not expecting that. Those two and this one, probably the biggest. But here, hopefully in a few weeks, once I get moving on my projects for all these fish tanks and fish and the fish room, maybe all the chaos of the holidays, maybe I can finally actually get something done. But this is the tank the pufferfish will grow out in for a little bit. One of the few tanks I actually have a background on. I think 2 or 3 of them actually have a background, otherwise some of them are painted and some of them don't have any paint or background. Let's go back up to the pufferfish and see if he'll eat some bloodworms. So here we are back upstairs. Oh, here he comes. See if we can get him interested in eating a little bit. Oh, alright. Maybe I'll get lucky, maybe I won't. Oh. If this camera would focus. Usually likes to wait a little bit till it melts, till a little piece of it kind of strings off. There we go. The first night after releasing him, I was kind of worried about my fire eel in here, because the fire eel is probably about 6 inches. He has some girth to him, but I was afraid that the fire eel might be a little territorial. But believe it or not, after the lights were off and I fed the fire eel his bloodworm cube, the pufferfish actually charged him and nipped at his tail, which is crazy because this pufferfish is probably almost half an inch maybe. He's growing pretty fast. He was probably about 1/4 of an inch when I first got it. But even at this size, this is already probably one of my most personable fish. Comes up to me and begs for food like all of them, but he'll actually follow me around and see what I'm doing. I love the way these things swim around. They look like they're just hovering. But that's going to be it for tonight. Just wanted to give a quick update. I know on my Instagram I was saying I was going to make a video and I still haven't, but finally got down to making one. Hopefully I'll be making more soon, so stay tuned and go ahead and comment, like, and subscribe.